Hey guys, welcome back. Now, if this video doesn't get you jumping out of your chair bullish on Bitcoin, then I'm afraid probably nothing ever will. Michael Saylor is one of Bitcoin's biggest whales and a key player driving Bitcoin's world domination. Now, they say to master any skill or topic, it takes around 10,000 hours, and most people will have only spent a handful on Bitcoin. However, Michael Saylor is a rare individual. He's one of the rare few that has invested over 10,000 hours and so continues to be someone worth listening to. And so in this video, we're going to be covering the biggest and best things going on in the world of Bitcoin. Still the #1 digital asset and index for the entire crypto market. And we'll cover what he thinks are the 3 big things that are coming that will open the door to trillions of dollars of new capital. Then we'll look at the next wave of adoption from there. These are the mega whales. Who are they and when are they coming? And then we'll finish up with him explaining why right now there is a window of opportunity which won't be around much longer. Okay, first up, out of the hundreds of developments going on all around the world regarding Bitcoin, there are 3 big ones coming that will open the door to trillions of dollars of new capital.
I think that there are really three milestones we need for massive adoption of Bitcoin by governments, by thousands of companies, by all of the investors in the world. The first and the most important one, the one that's going to dominate this cycle, is going to be the spot ETF. Because futures ETFs are just literally defective, right? If I said I'm going to charge you a 10% fee per year to invest your money, like your money's gone in 7 years, right? That's going to be the #1 driver, right? And that's going to dwarf everything else in the near term. The second driver is FASB fair value accounting. Because if I'm a corporation and I have $1 billion of cash flow this year, I normally would have to either put it into dollars or euros, and I know I'm losing 7% of its value every year in a normal monetary inflation environment. Or I'd have to buy sovereign debt like euro bonds or treasury bonds. And then I'm just losing 2, 3, 4% of its value every year. And I can do one of those 2 things, but I can't invest it in any other property that's going to go up in value. This FASB decision means that Bitcoin can now be a treasury reserve asset for mega corporations. I think that the third catalyst, before we get to central banks, is just banks in general. Embrace of companies like Deutsche Bank and Santander and JP Morgan and Bank of America and the like. That's third on the list. And I think as we start to see those banks step up and become custodians, first they'll be custodians, then they will actually begin offering financing and collateral, and accept Bitcoin as collateral. And then you'll start to see a whole set of Bitcoin derivatives and new products. Instead of just pure Bitcoin, you might see Bitcoin integrated with fixed income offerings, Bitcoin with volatility hedging. You might see Bitcoin-backed insurance plans, Bitcoin-backed bonds, all sorts of other Bitcoin-backed securities that'll be banked. And that will eventually ripple.
And so the big 3 being #1, obviously the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which added together is now almost $17 trillion of assets, which will suddenly be able to invest. Then #2, the new accounting rules by FASB that will make it super simple for corporations to add Bitcoin to the corporate balance sheet. And then #3, the banks getting set up and ready to offer digital asset custody for the masses. Now, the hardcore Bitcoin maxis would rather die than have their Bitcoin stored at a bank or with BlackRock, but the big idea is that people will have a choice. There are millions and millions of people who do not want to be messing around storing private keys on bits of paper, and BlackRock and the banks will be a great option for a lot of people. And it's the key to sending prices to the moon. Okay, next up, as if those three weren't big enough to wet your whistle, we now move on to the next $1 trillion category, ready to get involved.
I think with regard to sovereigns, we already know some sovereigns are buying Bitcoin and they're mining Bitcoin. You know, we've seen announcements from El Salvador, from Oman, from Bhutan, right, from the Emirates, and so that's spreading. But I think that'll continue to spread. But the next probably big support will come from sovereign wealth funds. And the sovereign wealth funds, first they'll take positions via the spot ETFs, and then they'll take positions via other companies, right? As companies embrace Bitcoin and put it on their treasury. Look, if Apple Computer just stopped dividending out their stock or stopped dividending out their cash flows and just started buying Bitcoin with their cash flows, the nature of the company changes, right? And any company that's a cash cow that starts accumulating assets in Bitcoin becomes one part power company, one part Bitcoin company, one part software company, one part Bitcoin company. And the degree to which you're a Bitcoin company versus a food company or an ice cream company or a real estate company just comes down to the portion of your enterprise value, which is based upon the P&L, versus the portion of your enterprise value, which is based on your balance sheet.
So for the next $1 trillion category, we have the nation states and sovereign wealth funds, both of which have trillions more dollars ready to get involved. And here is something I'm sure many don't realize. El Salvador is not the only country that currently owns Bitcoin. There are now actually 6 countries and counting, with the US and China being the largest, owning around 200,000 Bitcoin each. And as well as El Salvador, we also have Ukraine, Finland, and Georgia. So it's already starting to happen. And then there's the sovereign wealth funds, with billions and trillions more capital ready to get involved. So seriously, how can anyone not be bullish right now? Okay, and to finish up, the harsh truth is that we're not going to be able to get in and take our positions before these mega institutions forever. The doors will soon be closing.
I sat with a guy's got $1 trillion in capital under management, and he couldn't buy the Bitcoin even if he wanted to. He couldn't, because he doesn't have the accounting systems, the on-ramps, the regulatory wrapper. So there are people out there that have more money than you that may actually perceive the same thing you perceive. They can't buy it yet. You should count yourself lucky if you actually have the ability to acquire it right now, right? Because you jumped through the hoops, you got KYC'd on a crypto exchange, because you've got a relationship, right? You have an advantage. The advantage is for a window of time. It will actually never be this good again, in my opinion.
Infamous Bitcoin whale Michael Saylor continues to educate the world on Bitcoin. He personally went all in 2020. However, amazingly, if you were to buy your Bitcoin right now today, you'd be getting a better average price than Michael Saylor, anywhere under 30K. The truth is that trillions of dollars of new capital is coming over the next couple of years, starting with the big three, the Bitcoin ETFs, corporations, and the banks. Then the next wave of adoption, bringing trillions more dollars of fresh new capital, will be the nation states and sovereign wealth funds, making this one of the rare occasions in history where the average investor can still get in and front run these mega financial giants. And if all of this doesn't get you feeling bullish, then I really don't know what will. However, let me just finish by saying that in the short term, yes, Bitcoin's price can still go down, but I for one will be buying more. So there you are, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Now let me know your thoughts and comments below, and just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.